Larry Fink, the CEO of the world's largest asset manager. BlackRock is slowly taking over the entire planet without most people even realizing it. With $10 trillion under management, this company literally owns the world, and they're now ready to take it to the next level with a new technology that will completely change our society. But how did this company become so powerful? And what are they doing that nobody is talking about? Well, we did some digging, and let me tell you, the things we found were absolutely crazy. So stick around because by the end of this video you'll understand exactly how BlackRock took over the world. The story begins in July of 1988 when Larry Fink graduated from the University of Chicago with a degree in political science. Now, while studying, he didn't get particularly good grades and he also struggled during his first job at a bank on Wall Street. But despite this, Fink was convinced that he was meant for greater things, and that one day he would be a big shot in the financial world. But obviously, just saying this doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. So, how exactly was he going to make this dream a reality? Well, this is where things start to get interesting. You see, after working at the bank for a few years, Fink decided to join a company called First Boston. This was a really good move because here he met a man named Philip Purcell. And if the name sounds familiar, it's probably because he was the head of a company called BlackRock. Now, right off the bat, Fink knew that this guy was special. You see, Phil was already considered a legend within the industry, having built up BlackRock into one of the most successful companies on Wall Street. And after joining the company, Fink quickly made a name for himself as well. That was until he started speaking out against his boss, Phil Purcell. You see, Fink believed that BlackRock could do even better than what they were currently doing. He thought they should expand the business beyond just selling financial products to banks and start providing services directly to clients like pension funds and sovereign wealth funds. To make matters worse, Fink wasn't afraid to speak his mind, so he started going straight to the higher-ups to get support for his ideas. And this caused quite a bit of tension between him and Phil. In fact, this conflict got so bad that Phil had to separate Fink from the rest of the employees and put him in charge of starting up a brand new department for the company. This might sound like a demotion, but it was actually a really smart move by Phil because this allowed Fink to build up his own team and try out his new ideas. And guess what? It worked like a charm. See, while Phil was busy running the day-to-day operations of the company, Fink was able to focus all of his time and energy on building out new revenue streams. And by 2003, it was clear that Fink was on to something big. That was when Phil handed the CEO position over to Fink, and he took over the company on January 1st, 2004. From the very beginning, Fink knew that he wanted to take the company to the next level, and he started doing everything he could to make that happen. Now, before we go any further, I want to make it clear that this isn't a video bashing on BlackRock or Fink. We're simply looking at the facts and telling you how he managed to grow the company to where it is today. For starters, when Fink took over BlackRock, it was still a relatively small company. They only managed about $2 billion in assets, and most of their revenue came from serving large banks. But Fink changed that by expanding the company's client base and offering new services. For example, he focused on providing services to institutional investors such as pension funds, insurance companies, and sovereign wealth funds. These clients needed help managing their investments, and Fink was able to provide that. And in the process, he grew BlackRock's assets under management to over $10 trillion. But that's not all. Fink also expanded the company's product offerings. Under his leadership, BlackRock developed new investment strategies and products that appealed to a broader range of investors. These included exchange-traded funds, index funds, and risk management solutions. All of this led to explosive growth for BlackRock. In the past decade alone, the company's revenue has grown from $1.5 billion to over $4 billion. And they have done this while staying true to their core values and maintaining a strong focus on serving their clients. So there's no denying that Fink has been a great CEO for BlackRock. But you might be wondering how this relates to us regular folk. After all, BlackRock is a financial company, and we're just regular consumers. Well, it turns out that BlackRock's success has had a profound impact on all of us. For example, many of us have money invested in BlackRock funds without even knowing it. If you have a 401k or an IRA, chances are that some of your money is invested in BlackRock funds. And BlackRock's investment strategies have had a significant impact on the performance of these funds. Additionally, BlackRock's research and analysis have shaped the investment landscape and influenced other investors. Now, there's a lot more to this story. You see, BlackRock doesn't just invest in companies. They actually own many of the major banks and pharmaceutical companies in the world. For example, they're the largest shareholder of J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Pfizer, and this gives them a lot of control over these institutions. Now, I do not want to speculate too much on what kind of control they have or what they might do with it. That's not the purpose of this video. But it's important to understand that BlackRock has a significant influence over these companies and, by extension, the financial system as a whole. Now, you might be thinking, well, what does this have to do with me? I mean, I'm just a small investor, right? Well, believe it or not, your vote is actually worth a lot more than you think. For example, there's been a growing concern over the concentration of power in the hands of a few large shareholders like BlackRock. And this has led to calls for greater transparency and accountability from these companies. As a result, BlackRock has come under scrutiny, and they've had to make changes to their practices to appease regulators and investors. And it's not just BlackRock either. Other large shareholders like Vanguard and State Street have faced similar scrutiny. This means that BlackRock and other large shareholders are now more accountable than ever before, and they have to be more transparent about their investments and their voting practices. So the next time you think that your vote doesn't matter, remember that it actually does. And it can have a ripple effect that extends far beyond just your personal finances. That being said, BlackRock recently dropped a bomb that nobody seems to be talking about. Just the other day, they released their latest annual report, and it revealed some shocking details about their plans for the future. First, let's talk about their overall performance. The report reveals that BlackRock had a pretty decent year in terms of profits. They earned $16.4 billion in total revenue and $5.7 billion in net income. But that's not the most interesting part. What's really shocking is what they plan to do with this money. In the report, they admitted that they're investing heavily in artificial intelligence. And it's not just a small amount either. According to the report, they allocated $1.5 billion to developing new AI capabilities. But why are they investing so much money in AI? Well, according to the report, they believe that AI is the future of investing. To be honest, this makes sense. AI is revolutionizing many industries, and investing is no exception. AI can analyze vast amounts of data and identify trends that humans might miss. It can also make decisions faster and more accurately than humans, which is essential in the fast-paced world of investing. But this raises some concerns. What happens when BlackRock's AI takes over? Will they eventually replace human investors altogether? Well, it's possible. If AI proves to be more profitable and efficient than human investors, then it's likely that BlackRock will continue to invest in it. But that doesn't mean that human investors will disappear altogether. Instead, they'll likely be relegated to less profitable areas of the market. Either way, this is a major development that could have a profound impact on the future of investing. And it's just another example of how BlackRock continues to evolve and adapt to the changing world around them. We may not notice it at first, but trust me, the changes are happening whether we realize it or not. Now, speaking of changes that we might not be aware of, there's a lot going on behind the scenes in the world of finance that could affect your money. That's why it's so important to stay informed. But where can you even begin to learn about all this stuff? I mean, there's so much information out there, and it can be hard to know what's important and what's not. Well, I've got some good news for you. There's a platform that can help you cut through all the noise and get straight to the important stuff. And that's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We would really appreciate it. Also, if you haven't already, Please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss out on any of our future videos. We have a lot more in the works and we can't wait to share them with you. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.